Okay, welcome to an interview that I'm absolutely buzzing to be holding. I'm interviewing no other than Jonny Blade. Jonny, thank you very much for coming on here.
No, thank you very much. Privileged to speak to you.
So, just to start off, what's the main selling point for your style of music and what you do?
Main selling point. I'd probably say live is probably the sort of like personality I bring. I like to get everyone involved and just have a laugh, really. I think that's what live music's all about. Enjoying yourself and just probably. Yeah, I think everyone enjoys themselves at my gigs. It's always nice to see the smiles on everyone's faces. But through like on the studio and then on Spotify when you hear it, I like to bring sort of like a little bit of like my own accent in the tunes, like just being myself pretty much. And yeah, I think working with different people like Niall and Tom has brought different stuff out. So I think it's an exciting time for me in terms of the studio music because I think it's changing. I'm trying to find my own sort of sound as people like at my stage do. So yeah, it's exciting.
Obviously, you're very, very young. What's your aspirations with music?
Just get as far as I can and enjoy it because I'm enjoying it and I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't. And I think it's literally just push it as far as it can go until I think I stop enjoying it. And I think that'll be a long time yet. So you'll probably see me busking around in pubs at 70 if all goes wrong, still trying to get through. But yeah,
Have you got any music inspirations, any artists that sort of got you into music and got you wanting to perform and make music?
yeah, loads. So you got the lottery winners are the main one. They're literally the reason I'm doing this whole thing. Um, I was introduced to them by my mum and dad, and obviously at first it was a bit like, you don't really want to listen to the same music as your mum and dad. But then they became my little guilty pleasure, and then I admitted it, and then yeah, so it started from there, and then they got me up on stage at Gorilla Beer Hall. It was my first ever gig. I just fell in love with music, just playing in front of crowds like that. And then since then, me, my mum, my dad, and all my mates have started getting into all the new indie scene, like the K's, Ratings, Claws, Lilacs, so many I could name, Alex Spencer. And yeah, I think Alex Spencer as well is a big one. He's like with his band and stuff to see what he's doing at a similar age is obviously massively inspiring. And to see other bands like the K's who have and the Lottery Winners that have gone through it and like the grit they've had to go through, and then seeing where they are now, and then they're probably going to be the next big thing. Like so, all them sort of people are all inspiring me, and they're vastly what my music's like inspired by when I'm writing music as well. I'd say. So yeah, them sort of bands.
You mentioned going on stage with the lottery runners. How did that come about, and how was that playing in front of a crowd that size?
Yeah, I like to drop little things like that in. I'm trying to not be arrogant, but yeah, that was like mad. I mean, it was the Gorilla Beer Hall in Metro. It's an amazing venue, that, by the way. I was lucky enough to play it myself as well recently, supporting a Blur tribute act, which was good. But yeah, that was my first ever proper gig. I went to. I was 15, and I'd put a thing on my YouTube, covering one of their songs on my ukulele, favorite flavor. And then Tom Rylance saw it, and then whilst I was there, I brought my ukulele, and he said, "Oh, do you want to come up and sing it?" And I kind of like you kind of half think it might happen, half don't, even though he's already said it, because you know things can change, can't they? I remember before that someone chucked a bottle at him, like from the crowd. And so I was like, oh, I could be thrown off here. I'd probably end up forgetting. But he invited me up, and I was 15. I played all the chords wrong, but luckily it was plugged in really badly and no one could hear it. But it looked like I was smashing it. No one could hear it, but it was like honestly, I remember after that, I was like, I want to do that again. And yeah, that was mad.
And I'm sure you will do that again at places much, much bigger and better than the Gorilla in Manchester. But you've got a class live sound, and you've shown it already. What's the mindset before you step on stage?
It's kind of changed. I think beforehand, like when I did my first gig at After All Festival last year in April, it was very much like, right, I've got this set list, crack a few jokes if I can, just make sure we can get people like smiling and that, because that's the whole aim whenever you're doing live music. And yeah, just try show what I've got, and like I think it was more of prove myself. Whereas now I think I'm much less nervous going on, and I think. It's like, especially when I'm doing these sort of like everyone's an indie fan and they kind of like the same music that I make. I'm more confident in the fact that it'll come across well, and like everyone. It's much easier, I think, to do the big gigs where everyone's watching you, because it's like no one's. It's a bit more. I see it as less pressure because you're not trying to win people over. They're all already looking at you, And then you've got it's basically just like not losing them rather than winning them over. And I think I'm quite confident that that wouldn't happen because I like get them involved, and it's like a point where no one can look away because I'll take the mick out of you if you do. But yeah, so I think it's much less sort of being nervous. I think I'm more nervous to do the bits where we're just playing in a room in front of 10 people that are sat on the phones or something because you've got to try prove a point to them. So yeah, it changes with every single gig to be fair, but I think just enjoying it as much as I can.
And going into studio sort of things, when you're writing a song, does it start with a lyric or a riff, a melody? How do you start your songwriting process?
Yeah, so it's always in my bedroom in my pants. That's how we start. So it's yeah, literally just it's weird. Like I'll play a bit of a melody on my guitar, and then I'll think what that sort of sounds like in terms of like genre of mood. So I might write some. The chord progression might sound proper happy, and then I've got like notes in my phone of like different things I want to write about, and then I'll choose the thing, and then I'll build it from there. But then there's other ones like it changes. I'm sure everyone will say like it changes with whatever song you're doing. I remember for Lad Levered, my new one that's coming out. Literally I knew it as soon as I finished Leeds Festival, which is it's about that I wanted to do a song about that and the experiences I had. So I literally went in and did the chords like with that in mind. So it changes with each one. I think sometimes it's like it'd be really weird. Like I'll be in the car and then I'll just randomly get an idea and then I'll be like, all right, as soon as I get home, I'm going to start working on that. And then sometimes I'll just be mucking about and then just try put something together.
And you mentioned the new song coming out. Can you talk to us about that and what's it about and just how it sounds?
Yeah, so it's Lad Levered. It's coming out Sunday. I keep saying Saturday for some reason. It's coming out Sunday the 6th. And it's out at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so you don't have to wait up for it. Unless you've had a mad night on the Saturday, in which case. But yeah, so I kind of did that because I did that on my first one as well. I put it at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't really see anyone else doing it. I just thought I was a bit quirky, probably not. But yeah, so it's about Leeds Fest, as I was saying, and it was like the first time I got absolutely hammered. I couldn't remember anything the next day. But it was just like proper brilliant, like when it's them sort of it was an experience where it was like you don't expect much from it, and then it's like the whole stress of getting there and then setting everything up. But as soon as that finished, like I was with all my mates, met loads of mates whilst we were there, and it was just like everything. You hear all these bad things about people going in your tents and robbing stuff and then setting stuff on fire. But it was honestly one of the best festivals I've ever been to, and enjoyed it with my mates, and yeah, had a proper good time. So I thought I'd go back and write about it. You see so many different characters at festivals, Leeds Fest especially, probably not in the natural state. I'd say. So yeah, I think I just wrote about all that and watching Lana Del Rey. I think it was the night that I was absolutely hammered because I brought 3 liters of rum with me, and I had 1 liter the first day. Left it the next day because I was proper hungover, and then the last day was when I had 2 liters, and I was just drinking most of it neat, which is where I went wrong. Didn't have anything to eat, so never doing that again. But you can always get a song. That's the good thing about being a songwriter. You can always. I saw a funny thing on TikTok. Someone saying where boyfriend were about to break up with them, but they were just thinking like the song they're about to create from this will be a cracking. So you've always got like a good side to think about if something goes wrong in your life. So yeah, that's what Lad Levitt's about. And then it was kind of wrote around the line, "You're all alone in your head's rate," so which I knew I nicked from somewhere, and that's what music's about: sampling and nicking other people's. And I thought it was from the ratings. Obviously, I said the ratings were a massive inspiration of mine. And then turned out I went to this Feeling by the Sea festival, and we were in the hotel beforehand, and my dad's mate said, "No, that's not the ratings. That's from the Rosa Docs, number 54." So that's why it kind of ends with the line, "It was the Rosa Docs number 54." It's kind of like it's a journey from Leeds Fest, and then it's a journey of me writing it like in the lyrics as well. Because I'm a massive lyrics guy. Whenever I'm listening to songs, I love like the lyrics to sound like meaningful, and you got to relate to it. And I think loads of people can relate to getting a bit pissed in the field with your mate. So yeah, hopefully it comes across really well. I'm proper nervous for it to see the reaction, but yeah, I'm buzzing for it in the same way. And producing it as well was brilliant. Again, having Tommy Smith produce my second song with him was incredible experience. It's proper humbling, as I say. I get a massive imposter syndrome being in the same room as him. He's so talented, and it's just you get proper annoyed sometimes because I'll be like, oh yeah, like yeah, the Jamie Boyle from the K's. I want to do this bit in that song. I like the bit where he sings this. He's like, yeah, Jamie's a proper nice lad. Like, I'm like, shut up. Just like, why are you just dropping that? But yeah, proper nice lad. I'd love to work with Tom again. But yeah, proper humbling experience. He kind of brought life to the song in a way, and I probably rambled on for far too long there. But that's a bit about Lad Levered. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And it's making me so excited to hear that song on Sunday because Tom A. Smith, I've seen him a few times myself and he is just so talented, but I'm sure it'll be a banger. But you
Thank
spoke
you.
about going to Leeds Festival. Have you been to any Southern concerts at all?
No, I don't think I have, you know. Kendall's further up in it. I can't think of anywhere I've been down south. There probably is. I'd love to play down south at some point. I have actually. I played at Box Park for Sheffield United. That was the bit before Wembley. That was the only good bit about that day. And then that was really nice. It's always nice. I think football and music are the two things that brings everyone together, and to be able to be involved in something that the two things that bring them two together. I sang the George Baldock song as well. So everyone was like, it was a proper emotional moment for me and everyone else there. But that's the only gig I've ever played. I don't think I've ever been to one myself down south, but I'd love to. So I was getting proper jealous about everyone who went to Isle of Wight Festival. That looked amazing. And yeah, I think the furthest I've ever gone is, apart from Box Park, I've played in Lincoln before. Well, that's probably the furthest south I've been.
Yeah, that does not count as South, sadly. I was going to ask you, what's better, Northern crowds or Southern crowds? Obviously, you see a lot of videos of like these Northern crowds bouncing, singing,
Yeah,
high
yeah.
rise, whereas you see Southern crowds and not the more just standing, just observing,
Hmm.
a bit more respectful. So have you got any other thoughts on that? Do you think Northern crowds just clear it?
Well, as I said, I couldn't say. Like when I was playing down south, it was to a northern crowd, so I probably have to say northern at the minute because I've got no other sort of. I've just got massive bias towards the north, because I've never played into the south with southerners. So looking forward to it. I'll come back to you on that one.
Perfect. Have you got a favourite gig that you've ever played?
Oh, I was thinking about this. My favorite gig that I've ever played, probably, well, is definitely the O2 Academy with the lottery winners. Supporting them has been like my dream since I started this. Like, I literally said that on a bucket list. If like in 5 or 10 years I can do that, I'll be happy. And to be able to do that within the first year, I hadn't even been playing live gigs for a year, and to them to invite me, I'll never be able to pay them back for that. That's like a childhood dream come true. Like my favorite band, Heroes, a lot of them, and yeah, it was like because I've been to so many lottery winners gigs before. A lot of the fans knew who I was as well because I always post my stuff on the fan page as well. So it's just like I was playing in front of a family. I said that whilst I was at the gig, and it genuinely did feel like that. Just playing in front of loads of people that were also there to support you. And not having to prove a point to anyone, and everyone was loving it. And yeah, but I think at recent times I really enjoyed the last After All festival I did, to be fair. I got a massive turnout. One of my heroes from the Lilacs, Sam Birchall, I'm now mates with. Um, he came down to watch me play there, and that was a bit surreal. But everyone was down there supporting me in the castle for the After All Festival. After All Festival's always a great one, and I really enjoyed that. It just felt like, sometimes it feels like everything goes right, and like everything I was saying was bouncing back. So yeah, I'd probably say them two. Recency bias for the castle, but yeah, definitely the lottery winners.
Perfect. And obviously you're a growing artist. How do you grow in these sort of times? Is it social media that you're focused on? Is it like posting clips on TikTok? How do you get your name out there?
It's weird. Like I've never really had any sort of luck with the social media in terms of like blowing up. I see loads of people. That is the way on TikTok, especially, to grow as a musician. I think a bit it's a bit draining sometimes because you put these social media things out, and I think it's better I best show myself like with the comedy or the funniness and then play the tunes. But yeah, I think live is much. I find it that much more people start speaking about you, and then it goes on to the socials, and people start, your name gets thrown around, which is always a nice thing. So I think that you've got to have both of them, and you've got to be like your head screwed on with both sort of things. Maybe I need to work on sort of getting myself out there in the socials and knowing what to put, the hashtags and that. It's really weird. Like, I'll put like some video out and I think it's really crap, and that'll get loads of views. And then the next one, I'll have put loads of time into editing it and stuff, and then you don't put the right hashtag or something, it doesn't come up. But it's all part of the game. Like, I really enjoy putting the social medias and that out as well. I see loads of artists complaining about having to do that, but it's like, I think you've got to realize it's part of the game, really. And if you're not doing that, you're falling behind. And I think you've got to try and enjoy it at least and have a bit of fun with it, which is what I try to do. Sometimes it pulls off, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just hoping for one of them to go mega viral, so I don't have to be sitting with my mum's laptop of my own.
Fingers crossed in the future that happens. You mentioned about Sam from the Lilacs. You are supporting the Lilacs as well. How
Yeah,
excited are
that's
you for
mad.
that?
Again, that's absolutely mad. Like as I said, my biggest heroes were like ratings, lottery winners, the claws, and the lilacs. I've not spotted the ratings yet, but like to have them three on like a CV for me is like absolutely mental. Like I wouldn't have even dreamed of having that in the first year, and it's yeah, I was gutted not to be able to play it because it was supposed to be in the Leadmill, wasn't it? And then it got cancelled and moved. And but to play the Leadmill would have been nice, but yeah, just to even have been asked is like unreal. And Sam is one of the nicest people I've ever met in the music industry. And he's just been helping me so much, like messaging me, asking if I'm all right sometimes, with calls sometimes as well. And he's just a proper nice bloke. And I was gutted to hear about him and his diagnosis as well. But it's good to see that he's back on his feet now, and I'm buzzing to play with him in February, I think it is. So that'll be mad. Like I'd love to. I'm buzzing to see the crowd for that one.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a brilliant show. So what can your fans expect after this new release of the song? What's next after that?
That's the thing. My dad's gonna get me back for that because I don't have any other songs recorded as of late. I've got loads of songs written, but I need to get in the studio and get them recorded. I've got maybe a slower one is what you'll see next, and then I think we'll go into a new sort of era of music. I don't know. I've got some more songs that I'd like to experiment with after this next one comes out. And apart from that, it's probably I'm off to uni soon, so maybe try find some mates that are into music and start a band. That's one of my biggest ambitions. Start a band, and I think you can only get so far as an acoustic act. So I need to start a band for the live things. I think the shows will be so much better, and you obviously get bigger stages and that, and like to be able to express myself on them stages as well. And then apart from a band, I'd probably say, yeah, just get as much music as I can out. I wanted to get at least 4 songs out this year, and I've got two out, so I'm halfway there. So I need to pull my finger out my bumhole and try get some more stuff done. But yeah, that's what you can expect.
There's plenty of time left in this year. Have you got a dream venue or festival that you'd like to play in the future?
Oh, a dream venue. Festival, I'd say Kendal Calling, I'd love to play. I'd technically not played it. I played outside my dad's van last year, and I'm doing the same this year. So if you want to come down, message me, and I'll let you know where we are. And I'm going to be playing a little acoustic set next to my tent or something this year. But yeah, I'd love to play Kendal one day. That's like there. That was where my mum and dad first saw the Lottery Winners, and if it wasn't for Kendal, I wouldn't be here. And then I'd love to play Isle of Wight one day as well. That looked mad. And Leeds Fest as well. Just all of them is whatever pays the most. Nah, but in terms of a venue, it would have been the Lead Mill, to be honest. But it's unfortunate that's passed by now. And then around Leeds and that, I'd probably say First Direct's the bigger one, isn't it? But it's not really. If I played O2 Academy, it would have been O2 Academy, but yeah, I'd love to just any of them. If anyone can book me for anything, I'd love to do any of them. So get me down.
I'm going to go for some quick fire questions now. These are probably like one word answers. If not, some of them are free. So
Yeah.
first off, the best concert you've ever been to?
Oh, that's a good one. Playing or watching.
Watching, watching.
Right.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the K's recent one I went to at the Octagon in Sheffield. That was a good one.
That looked lively. I went to see the K's in London, the Roundhouse, and obviously it's
Did
brilliant
you?
seeing the K's, but it's just different down south and it looks up north. Like the Oxon and Sheffield just looks unbelievable. Everyone's
Yeah.
bouncing. It just looks
Because
so
everyone
much
gets
different.
it. But yeah, I love that one, but that's probably a bit of recency bias. I really liked Kasabian when we, at Kendal Calling like 2 years ago now, I think it was. That was a really good gig. They put on a right good show.
Perfect. What's your pre-show snack?
Um, anything as sugary as possible. I said I think probably it'll probably be knickknacks or something. My breath's absolutely honking. They'll have to wash the microphone after that. But knickknacks are my go-to crisps, so I'll say knickknacks.
Your favorite indie anthem ever?
It's got to be like a proper famous one.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's a new one, but I'm really into that new Sam Fender, Olivia Dean, Rain Me In one at the minute. I think that'll be end up being an indie anthem because that is such a good tune, especially with Olivia Dean on as well. So one word answers, I'm still waffling on. Sorry.
Guilty pleasure artist.
Oh, Sabrina Carpenter recently. This can't go public. Can't show this to any. Just say all my mates have been in my car. I've just got it blasting on. I need to realise I've got it on the motorway and no one sees. But then when I come around my locals, everyone's looking at me and I'm proper going for it with the speakers on loud in the car. And then I realise like I'll probably see these people again, so I've got to turn it down.
First album you bought.
First album, I think it was the Jake Bugg one with Two Fingers and Lightning Bolt in. I think it was that one. That's my mum and dad. But personally, I'd probably have to say, I Wonder If the World Knows was the first one I've proper fell in love with. Like that was that was like the first. I remember staying up till 12. I hadn't really listened to the K's too much, and I just couldn't stop listening. I think it was up till like half two, just listening to the same things on repeat. It's such a good album, that.
Yeah, I adore the K's. They're probably my favorite band at the minute. Who's the
Yeah.
most underrated band in the UK right now, would you say?
Oh, probably say someone like Alex Spencer or R. Kayler. Um, at the minute. Pablo Carrizo as well. He's absolutely class. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, yeah.
He's amazing. Like one of the best like solo artists I've ever seen play. And I had the privilege of supporting him in Sheffield. I'm supporting him again in Hull, which is coming up in September. He's so good. Like if you get the chance to watch Pablo Carrizo live, do it.
Perfect. Your dream 3-day festival headliners, they can be dead or alive.
Oh, I'd probably say the K's, the lottery winners. And I'll go for someone dead. Who did I really like that's dead? Michael Jackson, but we'll keep a barrier between him and the young uns.
It's a very different array of music there as well. Michael
Yeah,
Jackson and
yeah,
Kate.
yeah.
If you could steal the talent of one other artist, who would it be?
Ooh, I don't know. I think the person I look up to most is probably Tom Rylance. And oh no, actually, I'd answer this different. I'd probably say The Weeknd because he makes the most money, doesn't he? So I'd like to have that sort of talent.
What's a must-have item on tour?
Ooh. Guitar, probably for me. I'd be a bit lost with that one.
The worst ever place you've slept whilst touring.
Um, oh, don't know. I think we kind of come home and then I sleep in my bed. I've slept. No, actually, I slept on the floor after a bit of a rough night in Sunderland, and my mate was just kept kicking me off the bed. Which no, that sounds wrong now. That's out of context. We'll just leave that one at the floor, and then nothing else needs to be said about being in the same bed as me mate. There was no other options, so the floor. There we go. We're not saying anything else about
Brilliant. Yeah, we won't go into that. What is
that.
one band slash artist you can recommend me to try and interview next?
I'd probably say Pablo, but it'll be hard for Pablo because I don't see him on many. I think he's more of like one of them that just loves playing live and doesn't
Hmm,
really like the limelight. I'd probably say Pablo, and if you can't get Pablo, Alex Spencer definitely he'd be well up for doing this. And yeah, probably Alex Spencer or get I reckon the Radio Addicts on the young 16-year-old band. See if you can get them on. Luke's always got loads to say, so it'll make for a good interview that one.
brilliant. Well, I've had a brilliant time. Thank you so much for this, Johnny.
Now, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. It's always a privilege.
Have you got anything you'd like to say to anyone that might watch this? I'm not sure many people would, but if they do, like any gigs you want to announce or anything you just want to say to people.
I'll probably say pre-save Lad Levitt, or if it's already out, go give it a listen, please. And other than that, I'm supporting Pablo Carrizo. I'm playing Tramline's Fringe Fest. Some That's a great lineup that, and I've got a few others. Just keep an eye out on my socials. Please follow me, Jonny Blade Music. There's an underscore before the Blade and the music bit. But yeah, appreciate it for having me on, man. And yeah, I'm loving to see what you're doing. Thank you for having me on.